Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well this morning. It is Monday morning, Christmas week. And there goes the music. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. Hope you had an incredible Sunday. Mine was fantastic. This time of the year, I get to help and be a part of a process of lambing of fairly large proportion. I have a dear friend of mine who has a club lamb community, and we're getting ready for his baby's first of the year. And so that's kind of cool. About 56 little baby lambs. Going to be cool. First week of January. So that's awesome sauce. So I'm over there helping them, prepping and all that stuff. Good morning. Welcome to session 14, the ripple effects. So I want to welcome those of you that have already joined, committed, ponied up for the mastermind. Congratulations. We'll be having a kind of a welcome call here this week, maybe tomorrow, midday sometime. And it's just a quick welcome. And it's just to give you an idea of what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of things that only you will see, that only you will be a part of. So it won't be prominent anyplace else. There'll be some FOMO, and that's okay. But we're really getting started now, right? So it's a 13-month program for you for the next 13 months to gain some insights. And it's kind of a daily thing. Imagine working on you for the next 13 months. This is a big part of what's going to move your success forward. Most people are worried about their goals, their ideas, their ideals, their visions, their all of this stuff. What we work on you, we chip you away what's not you, we chip you away what's not you, we chip you away what's not you. The challenge is that if you go to a training, you go to a mastermind, you go to an event, if you get an idea, the challenge is that you're not trained, you're not taught how the ripple effect works. And therefore, you don't have much ripple after you make the decision. How many of us have known people? I'm not going to ask anybody here to jump under the bus. How many of us know people who have said they were going to go after a goal? They were all fired up. They had desire. They had clarity. They had vision. They could cast a vision. And yet they never got their goals done. They never achieved their goal. And the reason is because they didn't understand the significance of the ingredient of the ripple effect. So today we're going to learn that. If you're ready, say, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Good morning, everybody. The ripple effect. What it does, how it does, and why it does. What's the big thing about the ripple effect? Now, again, I put a big training session up, kind of a notes session in school. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go to seanschool.com, seanskool.com, and you can invite people to this. One of the months we're going to have a big cash winner for the person who invites the most people. Now, you're not inviting people just to get a number. This isn't a Facebook group. This is actually a learning community. So some of you have already invited a handful of people already, and I'm excited about that. So today is about the ripple effect, right? So we've covered the identity, right? The identity reset, number one. How many of you believe that as you move into, as you set your gratitude, as you set your stage, as you become the person you're working towards, drop an I in the chat if you're going to have a bigger impact in the world. Now, this is where it's so key to understand what the father of public speaking said to me, Bill Gove. He said, be responsible to them, not for them. You are going to go make an impact in the world. You are going to go make a splash in the world. Imagine if somebody has their little boat. They have their little boat on the pond you're about to go make a splash in. First question you got to ask yourself, How big of a center, how big of a stone are you going to go drop into the world around you? Some of you, you don't have any time to tiptoe through the tulips. Some of you are going to go make a big impact. Now, what's the challenge with that is that it's not a challenge for you. The challenge for you is going to be listening to their limiting beliefs, listening to the attacks, listening to the threats that you are going to cause in their mind about you. So the first thing to understand is that my ripple effect will affect others, which is why it's so critical. Every time before I speak, anytime before I get in front of an audience, whether it's 1 or 10,000 or however many, right? I make a commitment to me and the universe. I promise to do no harm. Now, sometimes if you're on the outside edge and you're listening to me do some one-on-ones with people here in the community, sometimes well, my goodness, he's like a warlock on a witch hunt. He's just being mean and grumpy. Listen, I made a commitment I promise to do no harm. Doesn't mean it won't hurt, but to rip off that Band-Aid, sometimes it needs a little bit. So part of this ripple effect is understanding the next level of your identity. When you truly grasp how big your ripple effect is going to be, you will understand your vision casting a heck of a lot better. When you understand the powerful impact that your ripple effect is going to be, you will truly understand session 3 about overcoming your limiting beliefs. There's some people that need your ripple. There's some people that need the wave you're about to put into life so that they can have a better life. Let me ask you this. Are you here to offer better or worse? Drop a B in the chat or a W in the chat. Then the question becomes, how big is your better going to be? If it dilutes every time it goes out, right? Now, in the universe, a thought can go from here to the edge of the universe in the blink of an eye, faster than the speed of light. When you think of somebody, you instantly, if you're connected to them energetically, if you're connected to them cellularly, especially DNA, you're connected to your parents. If they're living in this realm, they've passed on, you're connected to every sibling. You're connected to every generation forward, every generation of the past. All of that's connected. You came from somewhere, right? So overcoming limiting beliefs, you've got to deal with a lot of potential baggage there. Then mastery of decision. If you decide that you're going to allow your ripple to be seen, to be felt, to be heard, some of us have we have this pent-up waterfall inside of us, and we never do anything with it. We keep saying, I don't know why people don't see me. I don't know why people don't. Because you haven't started your ripple effect. But I'm doing my visions, I'm doing my missions, I'm doing my messages, I'm doing my videos. How many of us know the greatest place to hide is right in the open? Some of us, even though we're busy, we're hiding smack dab right in the open and nobody can see us. Because we're not willing to allow the idea, the vision. This isn't about doing certain things. Doing my videos. I did my videos. I did my posts. I did my blogs. I did my posts in my Facebook group. I did all of these things and nobody sees it because you're not willing to be seen yet. This is about doing them in a certain way. Have you ever started to listen to somebody and you kept scrolling because you didn't like the sound of their voice? You didn't like the clothes they were wearing. You didn't fill in the blank, and you just kept scrolling. That person is hiding in plain sight. And the reason that you didn't like those things is because they weren't true to their own voice. Bonus. When you fall in love with you, part of your ripple effect is knowing that you are truly able to impact people for generations. Then we went on to the why that makes you cry, part 1, part 2, emotional resilience. One of the things that is so critical to understand as part of the ripple effect is that some people are going to be mad that you're moving. Oh my God, you've lost your mind. Really? It shows? You are going to have to be so secure in your vision, in your mission, that when anybody says anything, you look at it as fuel going, oh my God, it's working. It's working. Yes, 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 it's working. Yes. What are you talking about, Sean? What I'm talking about is when people start to question you, challenge you, you're doing something new. You're doing something, dare I say, different. Now the question is can you start to fine tune that ship? The compass has changed. You're headed towards a new target. You're on your hero's journey. The first thing every one of you for 2025, whether you're part of the mastermind or not, you are stepping into your own new hero's journey. If you want someplace different at the end of 2025, you are going to have to take a journey. Yes, drop a J in the chat if you are going to have to take a journey. Write in your notes, I'm starting my journey today. And the reason I want you to become so clear in that, so understanding of that, is the first thing is answering of the call. You answer the call. Every one of you, 2025 is going to be my best year ever. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Put me in, coach. You know what the next answer is? This is for everybody, mastermind, non-mastermind. First thing you're going to do is refuse the call. What? That's what happens. Because your identity, if you just said, I'm going to go after my call, and you didn't do identity reset, you didn't do vision casting, I hope you're working on all of the previous 14 steps, 12 steps, because we had 2 review sessions. I hope you're working on all of the sessions prior every day, just looking at the notes every day. Because if you're not looking at the notes, you are refusing the call already. Wait, what? You are subconsciously, if this is so valuable, if you find that you are taking care of you, you are moving forward, and you are not reviewing these notes, your journals, not my notes, your notes, not my decision of self-training, your decision of self-training, that journal, that notebook of yours, this is your training manual. That your journal are your uncashed checks. Ray Higdon, we were talking this morning. Those are your uncashed checks. And you have an uncashed check called the goal that you want. 100,000, 200, 500,000, million, 2 million, 3 million. Those are uncashed checks. Where are you writing those checks? You're writing them right now in your journal. And if you are not reviewing them, you are throwing away uncashed checks. You are not going to have time to go spend with anything else. If whatever you put in that journal of yours, if you are not following it to the T, if you are not working on it, your journal, not mine, you can go get a note, a nugget, and go, oh, that's it. You have to pay attention to your RFA, your reticular formation activation, right? Your reticular formation system, because your energy, your focus, your creativity, this desire you want is what's actually going to flow into your formation of the subconscious, the unconscious, so that you can activate what you need to pay attention to. If any of you have felt any struggle, listen carefully. This is going to hurt. This might leave a mark. I hope it doesn't. If any of you are experiencing any level of struggle, that is your story. That's your story. You made the struggle. Because here's the thing, nobody can piss you off without your permission. If you are responding to a text, to a video, to a message, to a no response from somebody, to a challenging response, to a good response, Maslow said, be independent of the good opinion of other people. If people are telling you how amazing you are, it's because you shifted and you're really not amazing. Listen carefully. You're who you're supposed to be. The fact that they see you as amazing and creative and outstanding is simply because you've shifted in their eye. You've given them a chance to give you rewards of words. This is who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be amazing and outstanding and incredible. If you think that somebody's saying, man, you are amazing, and that fires you up, who heard you're amazing? Shouldn't the amazing part of you hear you're amazing? You're damn Skippy, I'm amazing. Bonus. The challenge that you're resisting is your old stories not ready to hear how good you are, which is why we're going to go into the ripple effect. Because if everything you're about to go do the rings, the concentric rings that you drop in, do they get bigger or smaller as you go out? Not elevation, not the amplitude. Is he using science words? I'm just talking about the ring. Does you drop it in, doesn't it get bigger and bigger and bigger? Wouldn't that correlate to the fact that the energy in that first drop, that first rock you throw in, doesn't that have the ability to expand from here to the edge of the universe? What do you want expanding from here to the edge of the universe? When you truly understand the ripple effect, you will not ever have another bad day. Could you imagine? Listen, I'm old school. And when I mean old school, there's some songs that I like and there's some stations I don't like. Could you imagine if I'm listening to, I don't know, cool music 103.3? I don't even know if that's station. But if I'm listening to that, all of a sudden that some nasty language rap comes on as the next song. Wait, what? This is my cool station 103. Why is it playing this song? Then I change the station. Now I'm off my station. Why do I say this? Because your ripple effects, when you have good days, they go out. People are like, man, I love being around you. Somebody ticks you off and you get mad. That starts to go out. And you wonder why nobody's talking to you. They changed the station. You can't afford to have a bad day. You can't, because it is going out into the universe, whether you talk to anybody or not. This is one of the most powerful lessons I could ever teach you. If you grasp it, I believe you will. If you grasp it, you can never have another bad day.
Bonus.
Y'all getting this? See, you can go do whatever you want to do, but you're going to need people to go do what you need to do. And you have, I'm jiving. Yeah. Oh man, life sucks. And they're listening to that going, wait a minute. Vibration. Everything is vibration. And you're having a bad day. You're ticked off at somebody gets you mad. I don't know how anybody gets you mad. I don't know how anybody gets you mad. Because they can't get you mad without your permission. So therefore, you get mad, you get frustrated, you go, rah, 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 I got nothing. That goes out into the universe. That you're playing on your station, WIIFM, what's in it for me? They're listening. Ooh, I'm going to go listen to Sean. What's in it for me? He is just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He does this world-class training. Then he's out with his sheep and he's talking about Bunny and Astrid. And her name is actually Anastasia. She's the first one here, but because she was born on Easter Sunday, we call her Bunny. People know more about my sheep than they know about their first cousins. Why? Because I'm having a good day. And I'm inviting you along for the journey. My vibe creates my tribe. You don't like sheep? Change the station. Some of us are forcing people to change the station because of our ripple effect. And we wonder why we can't get any momentum. Because everybody keeps changing the station. How many of us listen in the beginning? I would enroll people like crazy into my network marketing business. I was a master at enrollment. I sucked at retention. I did get pretty good at making sure the people I dealt with personally, I developed such a deep relationship with them that they're still part of the industry. We may not be working together, but we have ideas and conversations together so I can help them. I didn't take their dreams away. You know why people get mad about network marketing and say it doesn't work? Network marketing works. Every business works. Every business. You know why people's businesses go sideways? Is because people feel like they took away their chance at their dreams. But I would never do that. Didn't say you did. They thought you took away their chance at their dreams because you made yourself feel responsible for them.
Bonus.
Not to them. When you understand the ripple effect, you're going to make waves, my friends. The question is what kind of wave do you want to make, positive or negative? And realize that how often are you creating waves? With every heartbeat, with every thought. How many of us have somebody that we're like, do I really have to go over there? We got to go to the Christmas party. You know who's going to be there, right? And I'll be dang if they're not there and you don't get mad just like that. You already set it up while you were in the bathroom doing your eye makeup. And when you start to see this and you realize there ain't a thing you could do. Because listen, law of attraction says, so here's the other thing. How many of you are ready for bonus, bonus squared, bonus squared, bonus squared? How many of you have people around that truly don't understand the law of attraction, but you know they can use negative better than anybody else? Guess what they're forcing you to be part of their law of attraction.
Oh, ouch. Bonus.
Bonus.
You've never heard that. Well, maybe you have. You haven't heard it in the last hour. If law of attraction works, how many of us, because we're flexible in our abilities and we want to be everything to everybody, we become the pissed off version that they're looking for, that we absolutely answer their call. And we're like, I don't know why this happens, because you didn't stay your course. You said, I want to make sure everybody's happy. Aren't there some people that their best happiness is when they're mad? Hey, yeah, but I don't understand that. Jim Rohn said, don't sign up for that class. The ripple effect is more than leaving an impact. It's about allowing your why within your deepest emotions and purpose. It's about aligning and allowing your why, which is in the deepest part of your emotions. It's the biggest part of the purpose that you're here. To become more than words on paper. Woo! They become a force. I want you to look at your goal right now. I want you to do a Wayne Dyer moment. Change the way you look at it so the thing you look at change. I want you to see the income. Because we've got to work on you accepting the income amount. I don't want you to see it as money. I want you to see it as this powerful force for good. I want you to think of something that's a force for good. What is a force for good in your life? This makes sense? What is a force for good? Is it a charity? What is a force for good? Jane, I just see your note. Yes, we can set a time. My question is, what is a force for good? Is it a charity organization? Is it a mission, a vision? How many of you are struggling to come up with a force for good? Anybody? If you have a force for good, throw it out. Say it. This is important. Because this is
Saturday serve.
Feeding
say again.
families in Puerto Rico.
Say it, Luis.
Feeding families in Puerto Rico. While we have previously done, we gave out 60 meals to the homeless here in Puerto Rico.
Excellent. So that was a force for good. So did you put them in styrofoam boxes?
Yes, everything was packed. Well,
Okay,
it wasn't
hang on.
styrofoam, but it wasn't styrofoam. It was cardboard.
Okay, so hang on. So when did you ever associate cardboard in this mission to give 60 people food as a force for good?
I didn't associate it. It was more the restaurants, but I did think of it immediately because I said if this was plastic, they would just throw it away. Cardboard will just dilute into the nature.
No. I don't care about the recycle effect. Do you realize it was the transportation of the meal to the people? Without cardboard, you couldn't have given the meals.
Mm.
So that was the force for good.
Okay.
Do you realize the counter that they set the box on, or the box of boxes on, was a force for good?
The restaurants.
Do you realize the floor in the restaurant was a force for good? Do you realize the walls in the restaurant was a force for good? Do you realize the ceiling of the restaurant was a force for good? Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change.
Man.
So now, if you are stepping into that restaurant ever again, you should feel overwhelming force for good. You should feel that in every place you go. Because guess what? If you feel it, if you are the rock dropping the force for good, I want my world to be so freaking amazing. I go way out of I am over the top rock dropping to make sure the people who come into my world, you are on my pond, you're gonna get rocked.
Son, I need to deepen that restaurant thing. Who came with the vision of giving out the food was one of my salesmen that has 1 year with me. And he came up with the idea to feed 15 people because of the business that I gave him. And that caused the ripple of me getting involved and that grow into 60 people. So just deepening that, like the force for good.
Okay,
it was
so let's shift it. This all became about you. I love it.
It was about him.
Hang on, hang on. It became about you because he had 15. You added to it, but now go back. It's always going to come in. This is so important what you're saying right now. This is critical to see how you were a part of it. The energy can't stop flowing this way. It's okay for it to flow in. The good news is that when the energy flows in, it should charge us, not fill us. I let the world charge me up, not fill me. Here's why. You have to already be full so that you can give it away. Some of you are going to need a little space, a little fill up time. I get it. You're running on sailboat fuel. For those of you that don't know it, you ain't got no fuel. You're hoping the wind picks up. You're hoping the wind blows in the right direction so you can get the heck out of your port. We need fuel. And fuel is going back and doing your list of 500 things. We talked about that over a month ago. How many of you went and wrote down your list of 500 things? How many of you remember me talking about your list of 500 things? How many of you went and did it? If you're in the mastermind, that's the first thing you're going to go do. Write down your list of 500 things you've done well. You want to start to understand how big your ripple has already been? Go write down your list of 500 things. See, here's the thing. Can I let you in on a little bit of an understanding of how the brain works? This is why most people don't have you go write a list of 500 things. That's just wasteful. Let's go beat yourself to death about this old identity and you're going to become a millionaire and you go write, I am a millionaire. I am skinny. I am successful. And your body goes, no, you're not. Because anything we've done well in our life, the brain puts it on a shelf going, done. We are not wired to celebrate. and yet we are. How many of you have ever seen a blind person who's been blind from birth? When they are told they have crossed the finish line, what do they do with their arms? They have never seen anybody raise their arms. Why does this get wired into their body? How is this wired into their body? Because it's an expression of expansion. And we are not wired for expansion. Why? Because if we expand, if we get on too many fronts, we start fighting our war on too many fronts, we're going to lose because we're not strong enough there. So we fight this identity crisis. And when somebody says thank you, listen carefully. You want to know how small your ripple is? This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt big for some of you. But here's the good news. It's only a temporary pain. If anyone ever says to you, hey, I appreciate you. That's so awesome. Thank you. And you respond with, not a problem. That's how small your circle is. Because if you say not a problem, guess what they're hearing? Anybody want to say it? Say it. Guess what they're hearing? If you say it wasn't a problem.
It was a problem.
Yeah, it was a
Problem.
problem.
When I made myself do it, yeah. Oh, bonus. Ouch.
No, and we think it's being ego. Hey, listen, not a problem. Oh, I'm sorry that it could have been a problem. They're subconscious. I'm sorry, it could have been a problem. And if you're somebody that's an influential person in my life, when somebody tells me thank you, I'm going to say, oh, not a problem at all. No worries. Don't worry about it. Nothing. And they try to give you something. You're like, no. They're like, I can't even give when I receive. How good? So what am I wired to? Don't receive. That's how small your ripple is. I don't know why life is so tough. Insert evil laugh here. If somebody has 5 cents to give you, take it. Receive it. Because guess what you get to do? You get to find a new way to give them 10 cents. We're just so one-dimensional. I got a buddy of mine. His dad's in the hospital. You know what I'm focused on? Making sure the nurses take care of his dad. What? Because if he can show up in a good mood, if he can show up in a place to where he is loved, his voice can show up into the ears of the nurses that are taking care of his dad when he leaves the hospital. Those nurses feel the love from him and they want to take care of his dad. How many of you are sitting scratching your heads going, what? You want to play it a little deeper? It's Christmas. Is there a chance that any of those nurses have kids? Drop a 1 in the chat if there's a chance that any of those nurses have kids. Have grandkids. I want the conversation between my buddy and the nurses to go so strong that it goes home to the kids. How many of you are changing the way you look at things right now? This making sense? You're going to run into people in your organization that say, surface level, I want financial freedom. Anybody ever heard anybody say, I want financial freedom? I want to build a better life for my family. There's no emotional charge. They're saying the right thing to sound like they want a good goal. They have intellectualized. That's only an intellectual decision I want financial freedom. That is an intellectual decision because you had that in your head. And you ask them, so tell me, what's the reason behind your why? Well, I don't want to be in debt. Okay, let's start your business. Be very careful with the commitment you're about to make.
I feel gears in my head. Crunching here in the prefrontal.
Yep. We're changing the way you look at things so the things you look at change. Decide if you're going to go from this moment forward. Do you want to have a positive influence or a negative influence? See, because once you make the decision, how they hear it doesn't matter. I can't, if all you are wired for is negative, you can't even hear my positive. It's not going to stop me from being positive. You know what it'll stop me from doing? It'll stop me from talking. Because if I know you're wired for negative and that anything I say is going to arrive in your body in a negative state, there's no talking for me. There's no telling for me. There's no conversation for me. There's a monologue from you. Because if I can let you talk long enough, you're going to run out of things to say. And then we might be able to convert. Some people need to take out their trash. Listen, I call myself, I think I even still have the website. I am your mental janitor. We got to unplug that toilet. And I'm okay as the mental janitor, your mental septic system. When you start to realize the power you have, you are going to hear some shiitake. And people are going to throw shiitake all over you. And you got to be, it's out of their system. You're going to watch people as you start to understand micro expressions and you allow yourself to have a dialogue that's nonverbal, that's all energetic. You ask somebody like a Heather or an Amber, even a Diane, when she's talking, when she's fully engaged in her business model, you'll watch people's bodies change as they use your products or use your words. You ever have a conversation with anybody and their shoulders drop? That's a mental janitor. That's somebody who is a brain pharmacist. The challenge is we won't, that's why, listen carefully. This is so good. That's why mirror work, un espejo, mirror work is so difficult for us. Because the words are literally landing in our soul. It's easy to just say out, but in the mirror, it comes back.
Bonus.
Go sit in front of a mirror. Those of you in the mastermind, I'm going to ask you, listen, you hear me say, are you ready for the love? Go sit in front of the mirror for 30 minutes and ask, are you ready for the love? Not 2 minutes, not 5 minutes. If you're going to be part of the mastermind, you are going to become ready for the love. It's why I can guarantee your success, because unless you're going to get right up front ready for the love, there's not a thing anybody can do for you. You have to do it for you. So I would encourage you today, tomorrow, I don't have a mirror. Sit with your phone on. If you don't have a mirror and that was your excuse, Jim Rohn would say that's a clue. You're not ready. Oh, I could use my phone. You mean, oh, that's right. I could reverse the camera. You're incorrigible. I would encourage you, Dr. Freud of the lobby, I would encourage you to record that session. Go turn your phone on and do it in your phone for 30 minutes. A 30-minute video? How many of you just freaked out? I don't know if my phone has enough storage. Those are excuses. Can I just be clear and kind of give you a little tap in the nose? If you're coming up with excuses about this already, really? We haven't even started your goal. Listen, I can promise you, you're going to see potentially a side of me that doesn't take no for an answer. And I'm going to expose you to some of your limiting beliefs that run at a subconscious level. Yeah, you can do it in Zoom too. Absolutely, Silky. This making sense? Y'all seeing how this is probably one of the bigger lessons to learn right now? This really emotionalizes your goals, which activates the subconscious. I think it's Dr. Michael Drew, I think. The doorway to the unconscious and the subconscious, that for you to go in there and start walking around, very few of you have ever made trips into your subconscious. Trips. You programmed it. It's been programmed for you because it was a one-way door. It was only stuff in, only stuff in, only stuff in. You're not sure how to go get the stuff out. Now understanding that you can go emotionalize it, you can now visualize the fact that you're literally walking into your subconscious room. Here's a visual for you.
Bonus.
Many of you have heard this. If you take a golf ball about that big, and you think of the largest sports arena you could think of, I don't care how big the sports arena is, holds 70,000, 80,000 people, 100,000 people. If it has a dome or maybe it's open, right? For my friends and family in Latin America, most of their domed football stadiums, soccer, are open stadiums. I want you to take that golf ball and set it at the midline, 50-yard line in football, midline in the sporting arenas. Golf ball, midline. The golf ball is your conscious mind. The stadium is your subconscious mind. The subconscious knows how, if you've ever driven home and forgot how, geez, I don't even remember driving home. Your subconscious does. You were consciously off in la la land.
Sean, I just had a bonus.
Okay.
You were talking and you know I bought a BMW, right?
Yeah.
I exploded. I have exploded 4 tires in 4 months that I have on the car.
Oh, wow. Those
It's
are cheap.
super. Yeah, no, not cheap. It's a super heavy car because it's electric. And 2 days ago, I exploded a tire at 2 a.m. Getting my girlfriend from an activity, and I was like, really, there's nothing open at this time. Any person I called to get it over to my house or anywhere, they were just gonna charge me extra. So I left the car in a parking spot, and I haven't been able to think of what to do. So I was like, I don't want to pay a tow truck like $200, $300 to take it over to my house because they charged me like $100 the first time I exploded a tire, and it was 3 corners away from my house.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm not gonna pay these guys. And you were talking, I was like, but why are you trying to like take the car to the house? Take the car to the house. You're stuck on taking the car to the house. Why don't you call your tow truck buddy and just take it to the nearest tire center and get it over with now? Because I have a client that I gotta go see. I have an installation today. And I'm like, it's raining. I can't use my motorcycle. And you talking, I was like, bro, stop resisting. That's your old story. Always wanted to do the things the way you want to do it, or there's no other way. And then I was like, wow, man, Sean, Thank you. I don't. It's that. I think that.
And
That's
this is
what
a
my
tire.
mind was working. It's just a tire, but I couldn't think of like. I was just stuck. Like all these days, I've been my head is on. I feel it. Like it's just gearing all the time, and I don't have a lot of time to think of a lot of things right now. I'm just thinking of this and Sean. Right now, I just have to finish. Well, I just have to continue this. We'll have to talk about that because right now my mind is kind of stuck on the mind. I'm deep inside the work shed, and I'm just too in. You know, like I'm having some issues getting out.
Okay, but didn't you just get out with this thought?
Something
Hang
as
on.
big as what do
Hang
I
on.
do? My car
just-
is tired. I literally
Didn't you just get out with this thought?
wait. The same thing that always happens just happened. Can you
Yeah,
repeat
sure.
it?
Absolutely. Didn't you just get out with this thought of instead of bringing it home, going to the dealership, going to the nearest tire shop?
Yeah.
So then as soon as you had that thought, the next words out of your mouth is, I'm still stuck in this thing. That's your old story showing up. You have evidence in like the last 30 seconds how you got out of the workshop. And your identity is, I can't get out of the workshop. I got to go back in. I had a great idea. I got to go back in. For what?
I see.
But see, because you're advanced thinking, if you don't go back in the workshop, you're going to lose your identity with everybody else who's in the workshop. You have to show them there's a way out. This is your Shawshank Redemption moment. You got to get out of the prison and stay out. But I don't know what to do out here. Do you know most prisoners, when they get out after a decade, kill themselves or revert back to go back to the prison? We're no different. You get out. First thing you do is try to get back in.
Right.
We talk about imposter syndrome. You want to know imposter syndrome is when you get out. This isn't who I am. I'm supposed to be a prisoner. I'm supposed to be broke. I'm not in love. I'm supposed to be sick. I'm supposed to be this. So if I get out, I don't know anybody because all of my friends are in.
That happened with solar for me too. That's why I just recently, after 3 years, reopened up. That's why I didn't even feel fully comfortable being back here. And I know you before I knew them. Because it was like, who am I going to be if I step out of my solar circle?
Yeah.
Like, actually, that was the thought. Actually.
Of course it is. And it's going to be the same thought for everybody you're about to go help get better.
It's the identity that's being challenged.
So on the morning, on the in the school community today, you have the 7-level exercise. I would encourage you to go do it. All of you. Start with your goal. Why is it important to you? Ask again, why is that important to you? Ask it again. Go 7 levels deep. Why is that? Write the answer down. Why is that answer important? Write it down. Why is that answer important? And what you'll find is you'll see things like self-worth, legacy, generational freedom. Right? Here's an example. I want to 10x my revenue. Why? Because if it should start with because turns the brain on to find the answer that you've never had before. 2 + 2 is 6. Why? Because. Oh, okay. Because is this key language that gives your brain space for the new idea. How many of us, when we're talking to our kids, when they said, I want that, why? Because. and they come up with the goofiest answers. Well, they're goofy to us because we would never come up with that because. You have to come up with your new becauses. So number one, right? I want financial freedom. Why is financial freedom important to me? Because I don't want to struggle like I did growing up. Well, why would that? Why did you struggle growing up? Why don't you want to struggle? Because I want to avoid struggle. Because I want my family to feel secure. Oh, look, the ripple effects already started to take place. Well, why is that important to you? Because I know I want them to know they're supported and have opportunities that I didn't. We're 4 levels deep. Why is providing opportunities important? Because I want to feel it's my responsibility to break the cycle of scarcity. 5 levels deep. Is breaking that cycle important to you? Because I want to prove to myself and others that I can create a life of abundance. We're now 6 levels deep. And 7, why is proving that to yourself important? Because it's my purpose to show others what's possible when they take bold action. That's different than I wanted financial freedom. And then once you uncover the 7th level, ask, how does that make you feel? What emotions are you feeling? What will it mean to my family? Ripple to my community. Ripple to my legacy. We're going to do a tremendous amount of emotional work up front as you begin your progress inside the mastermind, because it's the emotional that's keeping you from your financial. Period. End of story. You can argue till you're blue in the face. I need to learn this skill. The only reason you're not learning that skill is because you're afraid of the identity. Period. End of story. Full stop. It is the emotional work that you need done. Me or somebody else. I just happen to be focused on it for the last 40 years. I'm sure there's a lot of people as good as me that you can find. I'm sure there is. There's no doubt. I don't have the market cornered on emotional brain training. I got the market cornered on some other thing. Does that make sense? Questions, comments, thoughts?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to say something as the
Sure.
newest member of the mastermind. I'm just kidding. So what I wanted to say was this.
Yes.
This morning,
Yep.
I woke up and I journaled immediately. I did my homework, by the way, the one you
Sure.
gave me yesterday, and also you have not sent me the thing we talked about.
But
You need
I
to.
sent you a request for your email. The email that I have in
I sent it to you. I
okay,
sent the
I
email.
haven't. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'll look for it.
So got my journal and I have my U.S. Research and Prepare Center in this little book. And I did some homework. Actually, by the way, you wouldn't believe it, but
Okay. Go ahead.
there are many things I could do regarding what we spoke about.
Okay.
It's extremely simple, just like you mentioned. It's laundromats, it's vending machines are huge apparently in Texas and Arkansas. Vending
Yep.
machines are huge.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. And by the way, as I set the intention, and I just want to go back quickly. So I set the intention. I don't know how that's done. I'm curious to find out, but this is what I've done. I looked myself in the mirror and I said to myself, okay, so this is what we need to do today, you and I, right? We need to, or we get to, go out there and do homework that Sean gave us. We go out there and we search for ways to get to the States, right? And ways how we can actually make foundation work from here.
Mhm.
I want to do my homework. I want to reread the notes I had already. And yeah, and do the 10 things that I'm already grateful for as of December 31st, 2025. So I went ahead and I wrote this down. Um, interesting stuff happened.
Yeah.
Interesting things happened. I'm not gonna say you wouldn't believe because you do believe. Um, As I went with the 10 things that I wrote down, first couple of things were dull. First couple of things were probably the first and second why, right? I mean, they were dull. They're stupid. I want to make money, blah, blah, whatever. But as I went down through the 10th thing, let's say from the fifth thing and onwards,
Mm-hmm.
they started to get a little bit more Sean G. Murphy. They started to get a little bit more SGM, and I was very happy about it. And by the way, when as I was doing the research, how to fund a small business, how to buy it as a foreigner, and apparently you can. There's absolutely no limitations whatsoever. Um, there's some paperwork you need to get, but it's okay. As I went through with it, I got a download. I remembered the idea that one of my friends and I made in a coffee shop about a year ago for a business. I was like, okay, let me search for that. So I searched for it. Apparently, there is something, uh, there is a company that does that already. However, their reviews are not the brightest, and I see people are not happy with the service. I would do it differently, so I immediately asked myself, okay, if this company does what I want to do, how can I make it better? Because people are not, they're not okay with that. So how can I make that better? So I went into some journaling. I did all of that, and it feels really good. Doing the research, doing the stuff, also journaling right from the get-go when I wake up. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I put some thought into our conversation yesterday after we wrapped up. And by the
Mhm.
way, for everyone, I would encourage everyone that independent of whether you join the mastermind or not, to have a conversation with Sean because even if I said no yesterday to the mastermind, and there is no reason to say no because whatever your worry is, and this is the sales part of it, okay, I'm gonna upsell you to Sean's mastermind. So whatever the worry is, you can come to an agreement with Sean regarding finance or whatever. So I would really encourage everybody, even people watching this recording, people in the school community, people on the call right now who haven't been on the call with him. He probably saved me $100,000 yesterday, regardless of if I said yes or no. He gave me an idea that I don't have to. I'll share it actually. Anyway, F it. I had the idea to come to the States and use. Alex was not paid to deliver this message, but I do receive donations. All right. Anyhow, my idea was a cliche idea. I want to come to the States. I want to use the money that I have saved up, which is an okay amount, and start from the scratch. Start from scratch, start from the bottom. And Sean told me that I don't necessarily have to do that. That's stupid, and I don't have to do that. Gave me an insight into how that can be done. And with just the research I could do this morning before the call, it's 2 p.m. for me now. So just this morning, I already found a couple of ideas that can potentially be the bonus lifestyle, actually the foundation for the bonus lifestyle I want to make. So I would strongly encourage everybody, regardless of if you say yes or no, if you guys come to an agreement or not, to have a conversation because some ideas will poke you in the eye right there. And they sharing that for me. So I want to thank you again. I started already with the homework. I don't know if the intention setting was good or is that how it should be done. I'm curious to find out, but it worked out because what I felt was, and I journaled it, I felt as if all the things I had to do, I got to do, if that makes sense. They were not chores. They were not something that's in the back of my mind pressuring me and I have to subconsciously think about it. Is the stuff I get to do. I get to do research about this. I get to journal it. I get to set the intention in front of the mirror. So I really love the fact that you brought on the mirror exercise because I did it this morning and it felt good. Felt a bit weird in the beginning, but it did feel good afterwards. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
So a couple of things real quick. One, asking if it was right is a new thing, isn't it? And then pay attention to the evidence. I got to do the thing I wanted to do. I did the thing I wanted to do. So isn't that evidence that it worked? But because it's new, we're like, I don't know if it worked. But your subconscious revealed to you that it did work. So that's this is a Wallace D. Waddles moment. You did the thing in a certain way that was so certain in the way that it worked, and you're not sure if it worked.
Yeah. Well, anyway, folks, good night. I'm just kidding.
But you see that? I want you to
I
pay
really liked
attention
it.
to that.
Yep.
Your subconscious, because of your desire, your drive that you shared with me yesterday when we were talking, this is a done deal. You are doing it. The strategy is going to adjust. And you had a certain strategy in line. I'm going to go and I've got a cushion of this amount of money that I could burn through to get to my goal, right? We're going to have the immigrant story. I'm going to show up with 5 cents in my pocket. I'm going to make it rich. Well, you got a lot more than 5 cents, and you were okay with, well, I could burn some of that through experience, right? Cut a check or cut my teeth, and you were going to cut your teeth and pay for it. And now you have some ideas that you haven't left your mastermind seat. Y'all realize that he goes to that restaurant a lot as a young kid. He's got his seat. The waiters know him. He's in the back of the middle of nowhere, and they're like, who the hell is this guy? I don't know. Stay away from him. He's nuts. And I say that to say, from Serbia, he is now he's working on building an international business that he can already have going before he gets here. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I can tell you it's a hell of a lot different than I'm going to go there and I'm going to go sleep on somebody's couch and hope I make it.
Definitely a major takeaway from me, for me from yesterday was that you told me it doesn't have to be glamorous. And when it comes down to success, it's not optics that matter that much. Especially because, I mean, everybody that pictures the immigrant story that we talked about yesterday, they're picturing Hollywood, they're picturing Manhattan. And matter of fact, even here in Serbia, the people I met that have the most amount of money ever were people that are just in these businesses that are nuts. Waste management, boring stuff, chemical,
the things that
producing.
everybody needs.
Exactly. And that's what I thought about. That was a major takeaway for me. So, folks, once again, Sean probably saved me $100,000 yesterday. So, thank you.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Anyone else about okay, so anyone else have any lessons from today's ripple effect? You can tell I can't read notes and talk at the same time. I am a good single tasker. I'm choosing not to be good at multitasking. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways?
Hello.
Hello, Shammy.
Hello. I really was like, I learned, or
Yeah.
I really loved when you said about always inputting and not really going through and searching or take like you said it in a very specific way that I gotta go back and write it down. But that was so like true about the subconscious and putting and not really going through what's already there, I guess.
Yeah, we put in a formula that we don't want, and therefore the subconscious can't accept or reject. That's the challenge. The subconscious cannot accept or reject. Any thought we have goes into the programming, goes into the formation. And then what it does is, because it wants to protect the body, it's saying, ooh, you want to focus on that. It doesn't care whether it's positive or negative. It does not know if it's positive or negative. It only knows it's a need for a focus, and it wants to serve. This is why if we let our heart get involved, our heart is the greatest servant on the planet. It pumps all the time, but our heart is where our love comes from. And the heart says, your wish is my command. And this is why people have heart attacks. And this is why women, God forbid, it's true though, but the statistics say women have more coronary disease than men. How many of you have heard that? It's because they want to love, but they're taught to think. You got to think, you got to do this, and we're worried about identity. Listen, women, If you get in a clique of women who don't like other women, that is a bad clique to not be liked by. They are vicious. Women are vicious. How do I know this? Sean, how do you know that, Sean? You're not a woman. No, I worked with 35 of them in my restaurant. And I'd rather lay down and let you kick me than be on their bad side. So, and mom's brains are different than non-mom brains. That's why women who have kids and women who don't, they sometimes come to butting heads because they're like, I don't understand. That doesn't make sense. Your brain has been wired differently as a mom. So, this idea of allowing your heart, Shammy. Yeah, but my heart's been broken so many times. It's because we didn't put all of the structure in place to make sure your heart never breaks again. Doesn't mean you got to be a cold witch on a broomstick. You can be loving and caring and still be loving and caring. It's about understanding rules, not even necessarily boundaries, just rules. I love me. Isn't that fascinating? We have to learn the language that allows us to stay in love with ourselves. And now if more love goes in, you have 3 amazing peanuts that when you love you, they love them. And then they get to love you and you love you, you love them, they love you, you love them. And all of a sudden things go wildly crazy, amazing, unbelievable. We had such a good day today because the cycle of love was opened. There wasn't anything leaking out into the universe. So when you send that love down, when you let the heart go program your subconscious formation, what it needs to look for, I want to look for love. The heart goes, okay, let me go tell the subconscious. I'll be right back. Attention, everybody, on dial 4. We're now looking for love. And the subconscious goes, oh, okay, whatever. You tell us what to do. The subconscious doesn't operate on its own direction. It operates on the programming sent to it. Y'all put a smile on your face. Y'all know how to smile? Tell your face. Do you feel it different in your body? Literally, you put a smile on your face, fake or otherwise. Your body responds. How many of you know this, right? Here's the physiology. Just take your hands. Just center yourself, take a breath. We're going to do it. I'm going to show you how neuro-encoded our body is. Some of you have already done this. You can put your hands on your lap, right? If you're someplace, or you can hold them out or rest them on the table. Just put your hands out, palms down, palms down. I want you to pay attention to your heart. I want you to just pay attention to your central area, your heart chakra, your solar plexus, right? Just pay attention. Just take a couple of breaths. Just calm yourself. And then all I want you to do is I want you to pay attention to your body. Turn your hands over. That's it. Just turn your hands over. We'll leave them there for a little bit. Just pay attention to your body. And then turn them back, palms down. And in about 5 seconds, we're going to do it one more time. Palms up. Just focusing on palms up or palms down. It's palms up right now. Okay. And come back to this moment in time, healthier than you've ever been, better and better every way and every day. What'd you notice? Notice any difference in your body between palms down, palms up?
I felt uncomfortable with my palms up.
But was a change in your feeling, wasn't it?
Oh yes, it was
And all we did was go this to this, this to this. That's all we did. And this is because why do you think you felt uncomfortable with your palms up?
Problem with receiving and belief. That's a clue.
Problem
All
with
right.
asking for help? It just, but here's the thing. You felt different because what research shows is that when your palms are up, you breathe easier. Your subconscious made you sound like, oh, that's a bad thing. Your body lightens up. You feel it right in your chest area. When you do this, you literally, your breathing becomes less difficult. That's physiology. That's neuroencoding. And there's certain things in your body that when you understand the rules of your body, you're like, how come nobody taught me this before? Anybody remember the movie The Secret? Anybody remember when the fat cats are in that conference room, that closed conference room, smoking their cigars, and they're like, and they didn't want it out, and they're like nodding. This is one of those secrets nobody wants you to know. If they do know it, they don't want you to know it. They're like, if I teach them how to just meditate with their palms up, they're not going to need me. Oh, ye of so little faith. You get Mark Victor Hansen told me, he says, give them all you got, Murph. Give them everything you got. And if they want to know how to use it better, use it more. If they need you, now they can feel comfortable in saying, hey, listen, I need some help with this. But this, the beatings will continue till morale improves, is not a good solution. It doesn't work. 98% of the population are struggling. 90% are struggling paycheck to paycheck. Personal development is working. I'm sorry. That doesn't seem to be a true statement to me. Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways. What'd you learn? What'd you like? Anyone else?
This will be interesting.
Who else? Anyone else? Put on your seatbelt, kids. Yeah. Don't make me stop this car. Right. How many of you, your mom carried a fly swatter in the car, not for the flies, but to swat you from the front seat? Nothing. That's it.
Hey,
That's all.
I'll take a bullet. I'll take a bullet. I wanted to ask something actually. I forgot, just remembered. You said journaling every day is vital, right?
I said it's a secret to success, so I don't know if it's vital, but yeah, go ahead.
If you said it's important, then it's vital. Anyway, so if, for example,
Yeah.
I don't have any downloads or a lesson or anything, can I just journal awarenesses or just journal, intentions for the day or something like that? Because I
So
use this journal for everything, my
sure, absolutely. So
gratitude,
I use
lessons,
this for
everything.
everything. When
Oh,
I was
okay.
at the mastermind, I put it there. I took my
Oh, okay.
notes in here for the mastermind. This is my kind of daily on discovery. So I can go back and go, oh, because if I have a bunch of now I do have another journal up there that's my quotes journal,
Oh,
my
okay.
red leather quote journal book. But this is everything goes in here. And then for those of you that should be scared when I show you this, I've got my Covey planner back. This is probably a decade old, this book, but I went out and I've got my Franklin Covey planner ready, my schedules, my calendars, because I'm not a digital person. So this is big enough for me to carry everywhere I go. So this won't leave me. This is my journal, but this is my schedule. But well, you should do it digitally. Digitally hasn't worked for me for 5 years.
That's the case for me as well. So what I do is when we have these calls, I take notes on my MacBook because I can type faster than I can write.
Sure. Yep.
And then after the call in the afternoon when I'm done with work, or maybe the next morning, the latest next morning, I go review the notes. I save them in my computer and then I rewrite
Yep.
every note because I remember you talking about I forgot what's the word when you write stuff with your hand,
The
what it does to
kinesiology.
kinesiology. Yeah, there you go. And it really does feel different. Really does. I can't lie.
And
So for
now
me,
imagine with your intention in place.
yes.
And here's the thing, when you say your old story said, if I don't have any downloads, BS. You are always going to have downloads. you're giving yourself an out. You just say, I'm always going to have downloads and I'm going to write in my book every day.
I'm
You
always gonna
can't.
have downloads, and I'm always gonna write them down in my book every day.
There's no way that from this state, from especially that now that you're going to go be an international entrepreneur, how could you not have a download? Tell me how that's possible.
Yeah, this is my. Yeah, this is gonna go up in a museum one day. I got
Well,
the most.
it'll go up in a museum, but here's the thing. That's a 7-figure journal that people will pay you to know what's in it.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to be very careful about what I put in there.
Well, put
I
everything
really
in there. Put everything in there. You got to show them the pimples and the boils on your butt, and as you're going through life,
Oh, okay. All right.
put down everything. There's some of my pages going, today sucked.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome. And I use multiple colors. And the reason I use multiple colors is so that I can, when I go back through it, when I scan, reds are kind of the sticks in the sand that I need to pay attention to. Lessons are usually green. Money making things are usually green, right? Purple things, spiritual, these things that awaken inside of me going, oh, I haven't felt that in a while. I may write in purple. Don't need to. That's what works for me.
I did watch a Jim Rohn journal, the lesson, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't use colors. That's a bit too much for me because then I have to carry a lot of pencils and whatever. So I have an
So that's
index.
an excuse. That's an excuse.
I have an index.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Index, and then I have, lessons. I have
Do you understand why
awarenesses.
the colors make sense?
I do.
Okay. So you want to be poor for how much longer?
Not any longer.
Okay. So then get some damn pens and carry it. 2 pens, only 2 pens. What am I telling you? Go get a box of 74 crayons? Telling you carry 2 pens. Give me some crap. Oh, I've got an index. How's that working for you?
Well, it's 2/3 of the way in so far because
Yeah.
the final third I haven't indexed it yet.
Oh, well, see, now you've got to go. I got to go index. So now your journey's going to be, I got to index. Oh, I got to be so late. I can't make it to the meeting. I didn't finish my index. And then you'll get tomorrow going in. You didn't finish yesterday's and you're stuck in a spiral of nothingness, of indexing. But go ahead. Let me know how that works.
I did say I was gonna take a bullet for everyone, so thank you, everyone. I'm just kidding. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go
Right?
back and underline the stuff.
Because you want to be right. Okay, go be right. I just want to be rich.
Alex, you can get one of these pens. It has tons of colors, and it's just one pen.
Oh yeah, I remember those. We had them in like
Oh,
second
look,
grade.
the mastermind works.
The mastermind
Smarter
works.
people than me show up and go, don't be an idiot.
I had this in second grade. Okay, thank you, Christine.
Well, listen, everything we needed to know, we learned in second grade. Why'd you forget it? Promise you, one of us will always have fun. Sometimes both of us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Watch Alex take off his sweatshirt, his jumper. It's getting hot in here. This is fun. Isn't this fun? This is fun. Fun for one of us anyway. Thank you, Al. But see how you can shift the story? Be very gracious of the space you just gave yourself, Alex, to say, okay, I'm not tied to that identity. I can still index. Now I can do it with colors. The index might be for today, the color green is this. This is this, this is this. That's your index. And then you go right. Your brain is very logical. It needs this pattern. So go index colors and get a pen that has 32 things in it. That's kind of cool. And you know what? People will look at you and go, I had one of those in second grade going, yeah, I'm just working on my success. Ugh, I'm in this restaurant and people are looking at me and I'm like, ah.
Well, there's actually nobody here, so I don't care.
Okay, good.
But but even if there was, I wouldn't care. Oh, Yeah,
Ooh,
this is
yeah.
my second grade pencil, and I just wrote $1 million idea with it.
Mm. How cool is this, right? These are, listen, we're learning lessons every day.
Sean, I have to hop off, but thank you very much. I
Love you, brother.
appreciate it. Alex, check out that page I sent you.
Will do. Si, senor.
And Zalika just told us that Diane's birthday is today. Is today your birthday, Diane? Happy birthday.
Oh, happy
to
birthday.
you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday, dear
birthday,
Diane.
Diane.
Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday
you.
to you.
And many more.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways? Jane, I'll get in touch with you. Louise, we got our time scheduled, so we're good to go. This is going to be fun. All right, everybody. We are on tomorrow morning. Same bat time, same bat channel. And no call this evening. And we will and no call Tuesday night because it's Christmas Eve. We've got some things going on. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling misfit. I'll see y'all where?
Next event.
At the next event. I love it, love it, love it. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura vida.
Pura vida. We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us.
Peace be with us all and everyone. And some the queen of, what did we talk about today? Oh,
Ripples.
Ripples. The queen of Ripples, and they're still going. Jessie Lee Ward.
Mosley.
Mosley.
We love you, girl. And the ripple effect of Fifi.
Gurgly.
Gurgly. We love you, little girl. All right, everybody, go have some fun today. We'll talk to you soon. In about 35 minutes, we'll chat Louise, Wheezy, and we'll go from there. Bye for now.
Love you all. Have
Bye.
a great day.